Hello and thanks for joining me for a Starfield shipbuilding video, where today I'm going to take you step by step on how we turn the frontier into this. The only thing you will need level 10, and you will need at least rank 1 in shipbuilding. That's all you're going to need for everything of this, aside from that shield there. You will need to be a little bit higher level for that. Everything else in this is obtainable at level 10, so long as you have enough cash. And this ship, it is going to take about 80k. You can see here I'm level 13. The only reason I'm level 13 is because I gained extra levels just getting cash. Okay, we'll have a quick look inside though, and I will tell you some tips on how you can make some cash. So here we've got the cockpit. Okay, we do have a K worth of cargo, but I do actually have the payload skill, so really it's only about 900. In here we've got no ladders at all. Okay, over there that's your docking port, so if you dock to a ship or a station, that's where you go through. That is where we hop off the ship onto a planet. Through here we have a couple of beds. We have workstations here. We have the original hab from the frontier, which is unique. As far as I know, you can't get it anywhere else. And it has a bed, it has a galley, it has a navigation console, and it has research station. So that's one reason that you might want to upgrade the frontier instead of a different ship. Okay, now back through here we have our infirmary. We've got our pharmaceutical lab, and in here we've got all of our workbenches, our spacesuit, our weapons, and our industrial workbench. So it has everything you need. It's not a high level ship, it's only a class A, but it is a good starting ship, and we can start building this at level 10. You can probably start building it before level 10, but you want level 10 so that you can get a decent enough reactor to be able to power it and carry all the weight. So I'm going to go back and reload an earlier save where I am still level 10 and where we start the build. So I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so we are currently in New Atlantis. I am currently level 10 at this stage, and the frontier has not been touched. Aside from renaming it, I rename it so that I can keep track of my saves. That's all I've done to it. I haven't done anything else to it. Have a quick look at my skills. So I have nothing over here in any of these other than in tech. Now I started off with the bounty hunter background because that gives you 3 in the tech slot already. Okay, and I do have Starship Design 1 with no progress just yet. I've got a couple of skills lined up. So all I've done as far as missions, the main missions, we've done the main tutorial mission until we've got to the point where we've grabbed Sarah, and then we've done this one here where we've done the piloting simulator to get a couple of those piloting skills leveled up in order to have enough points spent in that area to get our ship design skill. So you need you need a certain amount of these skills filled out before that's available to you. Now this ship is going to have enough space for 5 crew, but until you get sort of leadership and I think it's ship command, you're not really going to be able to have need much more than that space anyway, and that's going to be a long way off if we're putting all of our effort into here. So Anyway, let's get to it. Alright, so the first place that we're going to want to go, and for this first bit, we're going to do it in a few stages because we're going to need to go to different places to get different parts. And we're going to set this up in a way that makes it easy to make some money along the way to finish the build. So the first place that we want to go, I'm going to go up here to Narian. I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to choose Valo. And then over here, we're going to go to Polvo. And we're going to go to Hopetown. Now I can land straight there, but if you haven't been there before, you might get scanned or whatever before you can land, but that's where you want to head. And you want to have just over 40k for this particular section. One easy way to do that is by doing these transport missions. They're really easy to do, and we'll be setting the ship up so that it makes it easy to do those along the way while you're doing these upgrades. So we are at Hopetown. We're going to talk to this guy over here. Now, in our skills, see that for our progress, we need 5 parts. We're going to be installing more than 5 parts, but you want to remember to exit out of the ship builder once you've put 5 unique parts on, and then spend a point. Otherwise, those extra parts are not going to go towards your rank 2. So, you know, ship parts can be expensive, so you don't want to be wasting too much cash doing this. So, alright. So this is where we start. I'm going to talk to this guy. Now I'm going to go into the ship builder, and I'm just using WASD to move around. I'm going to grab hold of the cockpit. I'm going to drag that forward. We are going to come down here into an empty spot, and we're just going to hit G. We are going to hit T or Q and keep pressing it until we get along to the Habs. And we are going to put in this Hopetech Companionway. I'm going to pop that there. Spin this around. Now, this next bit we can only get, I don't know if there's anywhere else. This is the only place I know that we can get this particular part, but we want this Hopetech Hab spine. I'm going to pop that there. Now over here, we're going to hit G again, and we're going to put this Hab cross brace. And once again, this is the only place that I know that you can get this. There's a place called New Homestead where you can get a similar piece that does the same thing, but it doesn't have this mount on the top, and it doesn't look anywhere near as good as this one. So I'm going to pop another one on the other side. Okay, now to rank up our shipbuilding skills, and you don't need to, we only need level 1 for this whole build, but you may as well get your points out of it. So these are both the same, so only one of these counts. So that's 1, 2, 3 out of 5. We're going to double click now on the cockpit, and that's going to put all of these pieces together, and we're just going to slide it up till it slots in there. Alright, now on these, this is where our landing bay is going to be. Now we can't buy that here, we need to go somewhere else, but when we do put that on, it's going to be up in the air, and so we're going to need different landing gear to be able to be low enough to the ground to actually use that. So I'm going to get rid of these two, spin around here, get rid of that one. Now I'm going to grab this landing bay, and I'm just going to drag it forward a notch, and I'm going to do the same with this cargo hold. We're going to drag that forward, whoops, snap it onto the back there. Okay, now we're going to just grab ourselves some space here and press G, and we are going to go across till we get to gear. And we're going to grab this Hope 5 landing gear. Going to press E. And we're going to pop that underneath. Now, we're going to need to lower it. So we're going to tap F. And we're just going to pop it in under there for now. Alright. So that is 4 out of our 5 pieces. We're going to exit out of here for a sec. Not all the way out, but that gives us our 4 out of 5. Now we're going to go to upgrade. Now, one thing that you're going to notice in the upgrades is we don't have an option to upgrade the grav drive. And if we choose to upgrade the reactor, it doesn't give us many choices. So I'm just going to exit out of that for a second and go back into ship builder. We'll get some clear space out here and we'll just press G. We'll go across to grav drives. We have all of these available to us. So obviously that is the best one. So we are going to grab that grav drive. And we're going to take that grav drive. I'm going to delete that. And we are going to press R to bring that up. Pop it in there. Now that's our 5 pieces, so we're going to exit out. And we're going to exit out again. We're going to exit out all the way. And we're going to spend our point there. As I said, we don't need rank 2, but you may as well get your points. So now any more pieces are going to add to this progress. Alright, so let's go back into the shipbuilder now. So you're going to want to keep an eye on that as you are doing your building. Okay, so now the same thing is going to happen with your reactor. So we're just going to grab that and we are going to delete that. We're going to hit G and we are going to hit Q. And we want this one here, this Tokamak X150 reactor. And this is the best that you're going to get at low level, to about level 20 or 30 maybe even. Even with rank 4 in ship design, you'll get a C-class reactor, but it's not going to be anywhere near as much power generated as this one is until you level up, because you're also level capped. But you do need level 10 before this will appear. So we've got that. Okay. Now we are going to, this is going to be optional. Depends how much cash you've got. If you've got enough cash to do the whole lot, you might want to skip this because later on we are going to get a better shield, but we're going to go into shields here. And we're going to pop this one on. Can only have one shield, so we're going to take that one off and delete that. So that is the Bastille S81. Okay. We are going to grab this fuel tank. We're going to delete that. Over here, we're going to hit G. And we are going to go across to fuel tanks. And we're going to put the Titan 450. We're going to put another one on this side. And now, you can see we've got a jump range now of 23. Our mobility is pretty low, but we'll fix that in a second. But we're going to be able to do some pretty decent jumps, which is going to help us do delivery missions, which is really easy way of getting the cash. And some levels up to, we don't really need the levels for the rest of this build, aside from the shield. But it is a really easy way getting experience and cash. So these are going to help out in that section. Let me see. Okay, the other thing I want to do on the back here, I'm going to hover over that blue circle there. We're going to hit G. And we are going to put a White Dwarf 3000 engine there. Okay. So, I think that's all that we want from here. I believe it is. Alright, so we're going to exit out of there. Actually, let's go back a sec. Now, if you press C for flight check, down here you can press G and you can rename your ship here. So, I find this handy for trying to keep, you got to press on rename here. Now, if you start typing while that's black, it's going to blank all of that out. So if you click here first, now you can't fit, that is as many characters as I can fit in there. But, you know, I can change this. Hit confirm, got to hit confirm twice. It changes the name. You go hop on your ship and then save. Then your save file will have the name of that ship. So that's one way of keeping track of your saves. So we're going to accept and we're going to exit out of here. Exit out of here. And let me see now. We have a little bit more cash. So we are going to need, let me see. Yep. Okay. So we're going to want to head on over to a Stroud dealer. So a lot of people, they're going to tell you that you need to go to the Stroud shipyard. I actually prefer to go to Neon over here. Down at Vol 2. Neon over here. Just going to cruise over there. Wait for the scan. It's, yep.
Alright, we're done.
Okay, so now we can land. Alright, so the reason I prefer Neon is because if you go to the ship dealer there, he has both Stroud parts and he also has Tayo parts. We're not going to be using the Tayo parts. But if you want some variety, you know, you can get a few different modules as okay, so we're gonna hop off the ship. Now there is a Stroud dealer that you can go to inside Neon. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to head straight in here.
See that shroud covering me on?
And we're going to speak to this guy. You would modify my ships. Alrighty. So, we're going to go into the ship builder. I'm going to hit G here. We are going to go to bays, and we're going to put the Stability Pro landing bay on there. I'm going to spin around. I'm going to hit G on there, and we are going to go to Dockers, and we're going to put the Connect Pro Docker on there. Now it's given us a bunch of errors for doing that. One of them is because we can't have more than 2 landing bays, so we're going to get rid of that one. Can't have more than 2 dockers, so we're going to get rid of that one. And now our landing gear is higher than our docking bay, so we're going to delete these 2 landing gears here. We're going to grab this one here. And we're going to pop it up there. Going to grab this cargo. And we are going to hit R a couple of times to lift it up so it clicks onto there. Okay. Now we've still got one error. And that'll be because we don't have enough landing gear. So over here, we're going to hit G here. And we are going to go across to gear. We're going to put this actually land at 11 on here. Now that only gives you one option. But on this side, it's going to give a couple of options. So see how it has like a connection module there. So we're going to hit Z. We're going to hit Z again. So that's on the inside. We're going to hit E. Now we've got enough landing gear. Okay. Now, going to grab that out and we're going to pop that up there for the time being. Actually, let's raise that up. So raise that one up. And I'm going to pop that on there. Okay. Yeah, in here, going to hit G. Going to go to Habs. We are going to put the all-in-one berth A. And we're going to have to hit F to lower it down so it snaps into there. Actually, we want this one in the middle. All right. Okay. We could put that up here for now. It doesn't really matter. Okay. From here, let me see. What else do we want from here? That is going to do us from here. So our next stop is going to be New Atlantis. And we're going to need 4,000, just over 4K. Let's have a look. Exit out of this. Okay. Got just enough. Let's have a look here. Okay, so still got a few pieces to go. Keep an eye on that. All right, so now we're going to go back to New Atlantis. So we're going to hit M, hit tab again, and scroll across here, back to Alpha Centauri, back to Jemison. And if we choose this one here, where it just says New Atlantis, that is going to land us in the spaceport. So now we're going to add, so the module that we just added, that gave us 2 extra passenger places. And that means that we can do up to 4 passengers with transport missions. And I will do another video on transport missions, I think.
Need some work done?
But I'm going to speak to this guy now.
What can I do for you? Sure, have at it.
And here we are going to go into the shipbuilder. Here we're going to hit G. And we are going to go to structural. And we're going to come down here and we're going to put in this Nova wing. And we're going to do the same over here. We're going to need to press Z or Z to flip it. All right. Now, over here, going to hit G there. And we're going to go to cargo. And we're going to put this 300 over here. And we're going to put another one here. Okay. So now Let me see. That is all we're really going to need. So that's brought our cargo up. So now we'll be able to do cargo missions. And we'll be able to do decent passenger missions. And that's going to help us get some cash. Because for the next section, so I've got 5k left. The next section, we are going to need about 20k. And to finish the whole thing off, we're going to need about 40k. So this is a start. This is quite functional. But anyway, I have already done a bunch of cargo missions on a previous save. So I'm going to bring this build up to another save where we are ready to add some more stuff. And we'll be doing that back at Neon. So I'm going to load up that save and I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so we're back at Neon at the spaceport. I'm going to talk to this guy.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade? Sure, have at it.
Okay, now we did move the weapons off of here onto here and got rid of that cowling, although we're going to be putting that back on later, so I probably shouldn't have got rid of that. But okay, from here, now what we're going to do is got a bit of cash together. We are going to go into the shipbuilder. We're going to grab this cockpit and we're going to delete that. We are going to hit G there. And we're going to go for the Viking CP220. That's brought our crew up to 4. Okay. We've got the all-in-one living quarters there. Or the all-in-one berth. So I'm going to put in another living quarters here. So we'll do this living quarters and we're going to pop that in there. Now, anytime at any station, you can come up, hover over this. You don't need to be at a Stroud place. Any station will do. You can hover over this, you can hit space, then you can hit your arrows and you can change what this is. So you can change that over. So I'm going to make it a living quarters for now, so that'll give us space for 6 passengers, which will help me make the cash for the rest of the ship. And then later on, you can change it over to either a computer core or a control station, which is going to bring your max crew up to 5. So for the moment, I'm going to leave it as the living quarters. Over here on this side, I'm going to pull this away. We are going to pop in, so move down a bit, give yourself some space, hit G, and just going to use our arrows again across here. We're going to find the infirmary, hit E, and we're going to slot that in there. Now we're going to do the same, but we're going to find the workshop. Just that one. Pop that in there. I'm going to pop that back on there. Pop that over there. Pop these engines. Pop these down onto there. Okay. Now, as it stands, this is fairly functional. You know, there's not really a lot more that we need to do. most of the rest of the upgrades on this is going to be, it's going to be aesthetical. And the more that we add to this, the more mass it's going to be. It is going to lower our mobility and eventually our jump range. We're going to end up, to have it looking really nice, we're going to end up with 19 and about 70 mobility. So, one thing that I will do, okay, we're going to add over here, we're going to go into structural and we're going to put an equipment plate there. Going to grab this missile. We might get rid of this later on, but we're going to pop that there for now. And we are going to hover over that cannon. We're going to hold control and we're going to press G. That's going to duplicate it. And we're going to pop that here. So now I don't think I showed in the last section, but we had these weapons were actually on the cockpit. We took them off, put them over here. But there we go. Now we're all set up for the next run. And we are going to do all of that at New Homestead, where we are going to need about another 20k. So I'm going to exit out of here, keeping an eye on our starship design here. So I'm going to need about another 10k. So that's going to be another 5 or 6 transport missions. Won't take too long at all. And we'll finish this thing off. So what I'll do, once again, I've already done that, and I'll load up my save where I'm up to that point, and we'll finish off this build. So I'll see you in just a moment once I've loaded that up. Okay, so we are now at New Homestead, and by this stage I'm now level 13. Got enough cash to finish the job. Now if you're not sure where New Homestead is, it is on Titan, which is over here by Saturn, which is in the Sol system. So just up from Alpha Centauri, go to Sol. Over here by Saturn to this little Titan over here, and New Homestead. So that's where we are, and that's where we're going to finish off the rest of this build. So we're going to speak to this guy here. Okay. Now, really, the most of the rest of this is going to be, it's going to be all aesthetical. Not really going to be much more performance-wise. In fact, our performance is going to go down. Now, okay. So, let's show you something with the Habs. So, that was our living quarters. If we press space, now this place doesn't sell Stroud, doesn't matter. Press space while we're over that. We hit our arrow keys and we're going to go to the, let me see, not the computer core, the control station. Okay, that's supposed to give us 4 crew stations. So we're going to accept that. Okay, and this gives us 4 crew stations. But the way it works is that, see your weapons, these have 0.5 crew capacity as well. So you need 2 weapons and 1 crew space for each person. These 2 weapons here are the same, 0.5, 0.5. Our shield has 0.5. Our reactor has 1. This weapon up here has 0.5. These engines all have 0.25. So, alright, what we're going to do, we will fix that up in a sec. Okay. First of all, we're going to go over here and we are going to hit G here. We're going to go over to structural. And once again, this is all purely decoration. I mean, the ship works fine as it is. This is just to make it look good. So we're taking the Nova Cowling 2L, plonked it on there. We're going to do the same over here. Going to hit G. It's this one here. I'm going to go through the arrows until we've got the one that's facing the right way. Plonk that in there. Now that's brought our mobility down, and it's going to go down to about 70 by the time we're finished here. Okay. Now the other thing that we want to do here is this looks a bit stupid, so we want to move this back. So we're going to move. So take all this, pop that there. Pop that there, we'll pop that there. But now we're going to get an error. And that error saying that unattached modules, that's because this landing gear doesn't have anything to attach to the sides. So there's nothing actually holding that on. And if you do get the error with unattached modules, double click on your cockpit and it'll show you what's not attached. Now that will attach down here, but then that's going to put our landing gear too low. So what we're going to do, we're going to go G here. We're going to go into structural. I'm going to put this engine strut here. Now we're going to double click this. I'm going to drag that forward and snap it onto there. Problem solved. Now up here, we're going to put another one of these. It's just for decoration really. And this here, this is what I like to call the light version of the ship. We're still going to have 20 jump range, 76 mobility, decent speed, decent cargo. But, you know, it looks okay. And, you know, I mean, it's not too bad. Once you give it a paint job, it'll be fine. You can, if you double click, hit J, you can then slide these colours across to wherever you want. So just like so. Hit enter. Alright. It doesn't look too bad. Alrighty. But now what we're going to do, we are going to change this over. So we'll delete that. And we'll go into shields. We're going to put this one. Now I'm not sure when that becomes available. I think it's like level 11 or 12, maybe 13. So you may not have access to that till you've raised up a level or two. Alright. Now, what we're going to do, let's see. Bring this down here for now. Pop that there. And get rid of this plate, we don't need it anymore. We're going to hover over one of these lasers, hit control, hit G, that's going to duplicate it. We're going to pop that on there. And now you see, by adding that, it added 0.5 crew capacity, and that put us up to 5 crew. Now, until we get some levels in our social skill, we're not going to be able to have that many crew on our ship anyway. Not at this early level of the game. I'm going to move those weapons again in a minute. But what we're going to do now over here, okay, on this section here, going to hit G, going to go back to structural, and we've got this cowling here. Now this did come with one of these and I deleted it, so maybe an idea to keep that. I'm going to hit Z, pop it on there. Then I'm going to do the same, add another one on here, like that. Now we can move these weapons over to here. Alrighty. Over here, Going to hit G. And we're going to do this cowling, the 2L. Pop that there. Get onto the back of it. Hit G again. And on the same cowling, we're going to go through the arrows till we've got the one that's backwards. Alright. And we hover over this. Control G. Pop that one there. Do the same with this one. Control G to duplicate it. Pop that one there. Alright. Now here we are going to hit G. And yep, we're going to put this little cowling. And same again, but we're going to go through our arrows and we're going to put that one. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And again here. Alright. So, now you can see this has brought us down to 19 and 70. Which is still okay, we're still nominal. We can still get around. We can handle a decent fight. And, you know, we can carry some cargo. And we can do all sorts of stuff in this. So we'll just double click on here again, hit J. Go back up to our colours. Swap these over. Now some individual pieces, they're going to have their colours separate. Like these fuel tanks, for example. Let's grab both of them off. Snap them together. Double click them. Hit J. And we're going to go colour 2 on that. And hit the purple. And we're going to hit enter. There we go. Alright. Things like the shield. That only has one colour. I'm going to actually leave that at the black. Could make it purple if you wanted. I think it looks better at the black though. So I'm going to leave that. Let me see. Okay. With our cargo. And pull those off. Pop them together. Double click those. Hit J. And I'm going to go colour 2. No. Colour 2 can be black. Colour 1 can be purple. And hit escape instead of enter. So we'll do that again. Colour 1 can be purple. Hit enter. Pop that back on. Okay. Now, we are pretty much almost at max. I think we can add one more mass. Oh no, wait a minute. I missed something. Okay. I'm going to hit G here. I'm going to put this on. Now this is all decorational. Fit one more on here. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't really... You can change a colour on there, but it doesn't really show up much. But there we go. That is our finished product. Now if we add anything more to that, it's going to start digging into our mobility. Wait, I can add one more thing, and that's going to be a porthole. Pop that there. Let's just quickly pop a colour on that. Let's make that bit black. And the little bit's purple. Okay. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to show you one thing that can happen. Now depending on which particular habs you choose and how you put them, and the reason I've got this spine here is because it forces the doors to be in a certain way. So I'm going to go have a quick check and make sure all the doors are in the right spot. So we're going to exit out of there. Had just enough cash. Okay. let's go have a look on the inside. Up here. So we enter in here. Yeah, every time you make changes to your ship, it's going to close off all your doors. But once you open them and save them, they're going to stay open. So there's your cockpit. That's your docking bay. Come down here, we'll open this one up. Make sure our doors are in the right spot. So there's this one here. We've got our workstations. Here's our original Frontier Hab. Okay. Same over here, we've got our workshop and our infirmary. Make sure that all our doors are right. And they are. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the shipbuilder and I'll show you how the simplest things can change everything to the layout inside of your ship. So I'll cruise on back over here, speak to this guy again.
Anything I can help you with?
To view and modify my ships. Ship builder. Going to spin around to the back here. And on here, going to hit G. And we're going to go to structural. And I'm just going to put a porthole. Now that's only one mass. But that is enough to tip our mobility down. And it'll give us a warning. It's still fine. It's still usable. We're just not going to be able to maneuver that quickly with that. Now, I'm not going to leave that on there. I just put it on there to demonstrate something. We're going to exit out of that with that on there. And we're going to go and have a look at what that did to the interior. So we're going to go back up here. In through here. And because we made changes to our ship, it closed our doors. We're going to come in through here. In here is our workstation, but now this is walled off. So to get into our old hab, we've now got another door here. That's walled off. And there's our porthole. So by putting that porthole, that changed where the doors go. And if you had this on the other side of the ship, that would have nuked this research station. So those are some things to take care of. This is not a door, that's a bathroom. So yeah, there's some things to take notice of. But there we go. There is our new beastie Frontier. So let's have a look. As you can see, we've got a decent amount of weapon power. We've got everything that we need on this ship. And it's quite capable of some decent stuff. At least early on in the game. I mean, are you going to get better ships? Of course you are. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun building it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. But that is going to do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.